Hello and welcome, I'm Ankit Tuteja and you are watching Tech It Out. This week we explain how you can choose a good password manager. We show you new soundbars that can enhance your entertainment experience, and we tell you why Google's carbon emissions have surged nearly 50% in 5 years. Let's get started. What if I tell you that you can easily manage all your online passwords? You will not have to remember them, you will not have to worry that somebody could steal them. Trust me, all that is very much possible. Watch this report for more details.
Everyone has too many passwords for emails, social media, e-commerce, bank accounts, and streaming services. With time, these credentials keep multiplying. According to some unscientific studies, the average person has hundreds of passwords. That's a lot to keep track of. You might be tempted to recycle them, but it's one of the bad password habits that cybersecurity experts warn against. Instead, use a password manager. They've been around for a while and can be useful tools to keep on top of your credentials. But they can also be intimidating for those who aren't tech savvy. So here's how you can use them. Many people use the same password for all their online accounts, mainly because it's the most convenient thing to do. Never do that. If your credentials are caught in a cyber breach, the hackers could try using the stolen passwords to get into other services. Also, don't use easy-to-guess information in your passwords, like your birthdays, names of family members, favorite sports teams, or simple phrases like ABC123. The best strategy is to use a different password for each account. The longer and more complex, the better. Also, whenever possible, enable two-factor authentication for your online accounts. Having said that, it's impossible to remember all those various codes. So let a password manager do the job. The basic concept is simple. Your passwords are stored securely in a digital vault. When you need to access an online service, it autofills the login and password fields. The only thing you'll need to remember is a single password to open the password manager. Most password managers have a smartphone app that works with mobile browsers and other apps and can be opened with a thumbprint or facial ID scan. If you're using a computer, you can also log in to your password vault through a browser plugin or by going to a website. A good password manager should also be able to generate complex passwords with letters, numbers, and symbols whenever you set up a new account. Password managers also protect you from phishing scams. A password manager won't automatically fill in the details if the web address doesn't match the one linked to the saved password. They don't just store passwords. For example, you can save bank and credit card PINs too. Many also support passkeys, a new technology that companies like Google have been rolling out as a safer alternative to passwords. There are dozens of password managers on the market, so it can be hard to figure out what's best for you. Check out the tech review websites that have conducted in-depth testing and compiled rankings of the most popular services. If you want to nerd out, users on Reddit have drawn up spreadsheets with side-by-side comparisons. You should also know that most services have free and paid versions. The paid options typically cost a few dollars a month, while the free offerings tend to have restrictions like allowing only one device to be logged in at a time or limiting the number of passwords you can store. Note that a good password manager will work across different devices and platforms. Some better-known platforms include 1Password, Bitwarden, Dashlane, Bitdefender, NordPass, Keeper, and KeepPass.
It's time to help you upgrade your entertainment experience. In this story, we introduce you to new soundbars that can turn your living room into a home theater.
This is the 2024 LG soundbar lineup. Designed to elevate home entertainment experience, the soundbars not only offer robust sound quality, they also blend aesthetically with your home decor.
We have launched a new series of soundbar which are basically TV matching soundbar and soundbar with unique innovation and key technology like WOW Orchestra, WOW Synergy, and the technology like Dolby Atmos and DTS. We've also launched the world first center up firing speaker, and the intention is to give the cinematic experience at home.
The new soundbar models feature the WOW interface, which is an intuitive and user-friendly method to manage soundbar settings effortlessly. That's not all. The series also features LG AI Room Calibration that aims to redefine the sound experience. The feature analyzes the environment of a room and adjusts the settings accordingly, enhancing the audio to harmonize with the room's acoustics. WOWcast, on the other hand, allows users to connect soundbars to LG TVs wirelessly. Installing them is quite simple. For instance, the S70TY soundbar comes with a dedicated bracket. It allows users to place the soundbar directly beneath the TV, eliminating the need to drill holes in the wall during installation. Now comes the most important question. How much will the soundbars cost?
We have different set of soundbar, starting from 30,000 rupees till about 90,000 rupees.
The soundbar market is evolving rapidly. It's driven by several key trends that reflect changing consumer preferences and technological advancements.
Next time you visit China, your phone or laptop might get inspected. This is part of Beijing's espionage law. Watch this story for more details.
China is implementing a new law that grants its national security authorities powers to inspect electronic devices on suspicion of espionage. Why? The Ministry of State Security is enforcing the law to work for the enhancement of big data monitoring and analytics to crack down on espionage. Simply put, China wants to crack down on activities that are considered anti-national or harmful to the nation. Under the new law, officials can inspect phones and personal computers by showing a police ID or other identification. They require approval from higher-level national security authorities to do so. China is also increasing anti-espionage awareness in schools. In June, the State Security Ministry sent officials to schools in Beijing, from elementary levels to universities, to give lectures on national security. These talks also covered security risks related to advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence. There is more. The law also requires citizens to report any spying activities they uncover. In fact, China's government is offering a minimum reward of nearly $14,000 for significant contributions to its anti-spy efforts. The new powers are a part of stricter anti-espionage laws that took effect last July. However, the international community is concerned that the law could be used unfairly. Analysts believe authorities might use this law to justify inspecting baggage and electronic devices simply on suspicion of espionage. This move is likely to reshape privacy and security dynamics within the Chinese borders.
Artificial intelligence may prove to be incredibly useful. It may be transforming industries and economies around the world. But let me tell you one thing, the same exciting technology is also damaging our environment. This report gets you more details.
Three years ago, Google set an ambitious plan to address climate change. How? It decided to achieve net zero by 2030. Meaning it would release no more climate-changing gases into the air than it removes. But a report from the company shows it is nowhere near meeting those goals. Google's emissions have surged nearly 50% since 2019. Its emissions grew 13% in 2023 over the year before. Google is citing artificial intelligence as a reason for last year's growth. According to the company, with AI, the demand for data centers has gone up even more. These data centers consume massive amounts of electricity for computing and to cool equipment. Some experts say the rapidly expanding data centers needed to power AI threaten the entire transition to clean electricity. That's because a new data center with its need for electricity can delay the closure of a power plant that burns fossil fuel. Data centers are also challenging the sustainability pledges of other major tech companies. For instance, Microsoft's carbon emissions have risen 30% since 2020 due to data center expansion, and it's going to get worse. According to the International Energy Agency, global data center and AI electricity demand could double by 2026. So how can we tackle it?
We have to understand that if we are using more energy to do something, that energy we want to push for it to come from renewable and low carbon sources as much as possible. But we also have to ask the question, what's the benefit we're getting from this data center or from this use of AI? Is it benefiting humanity? Is it making our lives better? Is it making our society more equitable?
The environmental impact of the AI revolution is coming into focus. Therefore, with innovative AI tools, we also need ideas to make AI greener and more efficient.
On Tech It Out, we keep sharing with you what all robots can do. And now, in a breakthrough development, researchers in China are developing robo-dogs to assist the blind. More details in this report.
Imagine a guide dog that isn't furry, but instead boasts 6 mechanical legs. This innovative creation aims to improve independence for visually impaired individuals. Look at this. Developed by a research team in Shanghai, the 6-legged robot is roughly the size of an English bulldog. But why does the robot need 6 legs? As per its makers, its 6 legs provide remarkable stability.
So we think 6-legged are kind of like tripod of the camera. There are always 3 legs to control the body at a time. It is the most stable type. In the world, I think 6-legged is the most likely to be used in practical for robot guide dogs.
Not just that, it is equipped with advanced cameras and sensors that enable it to navigate its environment. Unlike traditional guide dogs, it can recognize traffic light signals, which is an essential feature of urban navigation. Interestingly, this robotic companion can also engage in conversations with its visually impaired handler, thanks to its AI-driven voice recognition and route planning capabilities. Li Fai and Zhu Sibin are a married couple who are among those helping test this technology. Li, who is completely blind, and Zhu, who has limited vision, usually rely on a cane. Now they can interact with the robot using voice commands in Chinese.
I can tell the robot where I'm going via voice recognition. I can control the speed with this blind cane I have. If I needed to go faster, I just push it all the way forward. If I needed to slow down, I just pull it back and it will adjust its speed.
While similar projects are underway in countries like Australia and Britain, China's urgent need for guide dogs sets this endeavor apart. With only about 400 traditional guide dogs available for nearly 20 million blind individuals in China, Professor Gao emphasizes the scalability of robot guide dogs.
Robots are a lot like cars, and I can mass produce them in the same way as cars. It will become more affordable.
In a country where pet ownership and service animals are still gaining acceptance, the introduction of robot guide dogs could transform public spaces. Unlike traditional guide dogs, which will always be limited in supply due to the natural limitations of breeding and the intense training required, the production of robot guide dogs could be scaled, especially in a major manufacturing hub like China.
Japan has introduced high-tech currency notes. Brazil's data regulator has banned Meta from mining data to train AI models. The week gone by was buzzing with a lot of interesting tech developments, and we bring you the most important ones in a tech wrap.
A new mind-controlled prosthetic is helping amputees walk and move more naturally. This video from leading US research university, MIT, shows a patient walking up and down stairs with a near-natural gait. Thanks to a pioneering surgical procedure and a neuroprosthetic interface that allows the body's nervous system to control the prosthesis in the same way it would have previously controlled a leg. The surgery is known as agonist-antagonist myoneural interface, or the AMI. The prosthetic limb relays information from the patient's muscles to their nervous system, helping to achieve more natural movement.
When the limb is amputated, we connect muscles in natural agonist-antagonist pairs, so that when the person thinks and moves their phantom leg, those muscles move dynamically just as they did before the leg was amputated. We then put sensors on those muscles to detect activations and movements, and those data are then decoded by small little computers on the robot that tell the machine how to move, what forces or torques to apply to enable natural movement by the person with amputation.
He estimates the procedure and robotic prosthetic system could become commercially available within around 5 years. Japan has begun circulating its first banknotes in 20 years. What's so special about these currency notes? They feature three-dimensional portraits of the founders of financial and female education institutions. This has been done in an attempt to frustrate counterfeiters. The notes use printed patterns to generate holograms of the portraits facing different directions. According to Japan's National Printing Bureau, this technology is the world's first for paper money. This step comes just as the economy moves into a growth-driven phase for the first time in 3 decades. The Bank of Japan has also experimented with digital currencies, but the government has made no decision whether to issue a digital yen. Brazil's National Data Protection Authority has determined that Meta cannot use data originating in the country to train its artificial intelligence. Meta's updated privacy policy enables the company to feed people's public posts into its AI systems. However, that practice will not be permitted in Brazil. According to the agency, the decision stems from the imminent risk of serious and irreparable or difficult to repair damage to the fundamental rights of the affected data subjects. The social media company has also encountered resistance to its privacy policy update in Europe, where it recently put on hold its plans to start feeding people's public posts into training AI systems. Generative AI has emerged as a game-changing technology. The number of international patent filings for innovations using cutting-edge generative artificial intelligence have surged 8-fold in 6 years. According to a report by the United Nations World Intellectual Property Organization, a total of 54,000 patents were filed for generative AI innovations in the decade leading to 2023. The majority of these patents are from China-based innovators. In other words, China is far ahead of other countries in generative AI intentions, like chatbots. China has filed 6 times more patents than its closest rival, the United States. India is also growing at a fast rate. It ranks 5th in the generative AI patents race. Meta Platforms would lift its blanket ban on the word Shaheed, or martyr in English. This is happening after a year-long review by its oversight board that found the social media giant's approach was overbroad. The company has been criticized for years over its handling of content involving the Middle East. The oversight board, which is funded by Meta but operates independently, started its review last year because the word accounted for more content removals on the company's platforms than any other single word or phrase. Indian social media platform Coup is discontinuing its services, its top boss said in a social media post. A LinkedIn post from CEO Aprameya Radhakrishna and co-founder Mayank Bidawatka reads, and we quote, "Our partnership talks fell through, and we will be discontinuing a service to the public." A dearth of funding hurt the platform, and high costs for technology to keep the app running led to the shutdown. Coup gained popularity a few years ago when the Indian government was in a scuffle with Twitter over the non-removal of certain content.
Well, that's all we have for you in this episode of Tech It Out. We will continue to bring you exciting inventions and updates on the latest gadgets. I will be back soon. Until then, keep watching WION World is One. And yes, don't forget to follow us on social media. For now, it's me, Ankit Tuteja, signing off.